touched anyone's leg. I'll be the first one to say, can you excuse my leg? He may cut it and I won't get it. Because he's not operating. So let's build on that knowledge. That knowledge holds the promise. So even if you are a child of accounting, yes, you qualify. But I was not in the exam. So I don't know what you passed on. But if you can pass my test, which is my problem, then you are a good child of accounting. Then I can do business with you. But don't tell me that I got a CA, I got an MBA, I got all this complicated stuff. Because I mean nothing. All I need is I pay for value, I pay for what you are giving me. I'm not paying for what you learn. That's for your parents. You lost money. I'm not going to invoice. You can't invoice them. So that is a sunk cost. And that's generation after generation. Nobody has enforced that contract. So the parent, they want money paid. And then I go to court to enforce my right. So that is the motivation for this was if we can all read about it. Because the Bible's circumstances have not changed. So the Bible will not be able to talk to me about mineral rights, about land. So if somebody says the land is ours, the land is the economy, then I believe that the land is what? The economy. But some people don't need land to produce billions. They need just a small office. Some people don't even have an office. They're just market makers. I pick up information there, I get it there. In between my ears, there's cash. As long as this ear is not talking to this ear, I got mine. The moment the two ears talk to each other, I don't have mine. So there's confidentiality. And if we have to be trusted as a service provider, let's be. So how do we work the cellular industry? I think we have an opportunity. We are addressed by Nico Waitari, who is pastor. He started. Then we invited Joe Gart to come here. He was here, I think, about 2 years ago. And these were the two founders of the Telesat. And that's where the journey began. And that's almost 1986 today. And in 1986, Mobutu was still president of the Republic of Zaire. And the fact that cellular started there is not accidental. But there were no lines that were working. So even if you wanted to wire everybody, it was going to cost. And it's a post and telecommunication, which is a government entity which operates, it's still not service. They, as you said, with 800 million, not people with lines, but there are people with three lines, that is 1%. There are people with 4 lines, it's 1%. So the actual connections may be 800 million, but the actual people who are using the handsets may be less than 800 million. But if you were to take that as penetration, it would suggest that Africa has got 80% penetration. So imagine we have 80% penetration, and we had conversations that are meaningful. We could set up the biggest law firm. We could set up the biggest software accounting firm. We could set up the biggest insurance company. Because some people are talking to you, Old Mutual, the original name of Old Mutual was Cape of Good Hope Mutual Aid Benefit Association. It was not Old Mutual. You know that? They only called it Old Mutual because it was oldest. When others came along the way, to distinguish itself from other people, they said, we are Old Mutual. So if you have someone to trust, come to Old Mutual. But it was not the only mutual. But in 1845, people were determined to set up something that benefited themselves. So if Rosalind wanted to set up a law firm, if we all agreed that sometimes you need to use a white face in a law firm, you need to use a black face, we need to be strategic, sometimes you need to use an Indian, then if we are all black, we die. The judiciary will take time to change. Is that correct? Senior counsel will take time to change. We have been in court where you look at the judges looking down, even black judges, they look down on black rights. Because for them to be senior, it means we have to give them more weight. But for us to give them more weight, we need to have the means to give them more weight. So although they are good lawyers, black lawyers will not be senior because they don't have the flow of it. And you can't cure that. Even if you're an accountant, you can dream that income will come. And finally, the other was finally was the entrepreneur. Just to demonstrate that there are many people who want to be entrepreneurs. I couldn't find a better definition of what an entrepreneur is. And the best I could find was that somebody said an entrepreneur is an undertaker of a promise. Does it make sense? And the company is the vehicle to deliver the promise, or the platform to deliver the promise. So the undertaker was a French word, which is an entrepreneur. That when I undertake to do something, it means I pay the cost before the customer is evident in the service. I pay rent, I pay myself, I pay to produce this book without your knowledge, without your consent. When I produce it, whether you buy it or not, I've already incurred the expense to create this physical thing into existence without any promise from you that you buy it. So I have already incurred the risk of loss. So if I incurred the risk of loss, you can't say that I benefited from you. Is that correct? Huh? So I can't say a capitalist is a bad person because he doesn't force me to buy from him. So when I say I want to be empowered, I want shares from you, actually I'm missing the point, because the entrepreneur is that person who does something without any promise from the customer, no contract. Other people are like with offtake. But if you have an issue of an offtake, you still have to perform. I could guarantee that you could have a room, but it's leaking. So the room must be in good condition. So that way you can have a contract. So that in transition, it helps us, and all these people were undertakers of the promise. Nobody from Europe guaranteed that if you build a network, it will have users who can speak and who are willing to pay for that service. And the handsets will cost will go down. You could have more applications, more, you could have voice, you could have data, you could have all these other things. There was no promise. So we must also congratulate our people. Some of them are black, who have been in this value chain. And they have done a wonderful job. Because when I pick up the phone and you dial the number, there are places where you dial and there's nobody picking up the phone because there's no network. But the 800 million can dial numbers and talk to each other in Africa without anyone saying there was foreign aid, there was a donor coming in to help a cellular network. All these networks have been built on the back of a promise to poor people sometimes, who are not bankable most of the time, who are not literate, as we define. But they can use a keyboard, they can use now the keyboard to text messages. So Africa has been able to deliver the promise. Africans have been able, in large numbers, to be able, in South Africa, I think we have more connection than we have the population. Is that right? Now it is gone over. Because if you take Vodacom sales later, and you look at all the lines, and look at the population of South Africa, the number of connections exceeds the population of South Africa. And that will not be possible. But all those lines are lines that are live. And to build a network, when it comes to building a road, there will be confusion. The way of money is Africa going to pay for the road. But cellular billions have been able to pay it back. And some have met, if you look at the change of ownership that has taken place, money is exchanged as a consequence of transactions in the market. So if you want to read it, and the we then can converse about the 1873 to say, if 1873 is one, how what we learn from the cellular industry? There are many lessons that we can learn. What arguments can we put about business development? We can develop arguments. So I don't know that you have questions about the book itself, because I can't read it for you unless we want to have a written session. Is there any question that is pending? Rosalind? Is there any question?
I don't know the book.
So how do we use 1873 to sell knife-wise, to sell photocopy?
Well, now I'm understanding the network as you described.
Yeah.
I think it's a good platform because at the end of the day, especially with service-based business, relationships are very important. So it's a great platform to go for.
So join us so that you can we know. Right now we just see bodies. Some of these people don't know who they are. But if you are a participant, then you can also know who was here, who was not here. But next time we meet, it will be national, talking to say, look, how do we, because you want to reduce our costs. If you can do it for me, why can't we do it for other people in business?
Yeah, exactly.
So that we have a common platform entry point to those services. If it's airtime, why can't we reduce the cost of telephone? So that we can do it, things smarter, and we benefit from it. If it's CIA, in terms of social communities, through that social media, we are struggling. How do we build a portal and not linking, but it may be a link between us. And if that link, how do we make it smart so that using the umbrella of 1873 and build a smart system? So that's what we're trying to do. But it's your job. Those service providers, if you are an engineer, if you are an accountant, you can only be an accountant not to dogs. They don't need an accountant. You can only be an accountant to human beings. So those are your raw materials. And human beings, they are discriminatory by nature. They are subjective. We are not objective. Don't expect objectivity from me. If I don't like you, I may find a polite way of saying get away. But sometimes I don't have the patience to tell you. So I think that's the humanity we have. So we're all human. Let's all make sure that if I need something from you, I pretend I like you until I pay my bills.